everybody, welcome back to the channel, my fellow pirates and adventurers. I'm back. I know I said I was going to do 4 videos. Had some things come up. I unfortunately got sick with a cold and a mix of other things, and I'm better now. Today we are going back to our musical melodies of history. And this one's going to be a little different because I grew up with some of the music of this gentleman here. His name is David Wise, the original Donkey Kong Country composer, legendary in the video game music world. We're going to take a look at his stuff today, listen a little bit, look for some interviews just to learn a little bit more about him, and just go from here and just sit here and listen to some of his pieces. One of them being one of my favorite, Aquatic Ambience. So let's go ahead and get started, ladies and gentlemen. Oh yeah. A few years ago I used to listen to this very song just to sleep with. Oh man. Just gonna sit here and listen to the fun part. Very good. One of the better Super Nintendo music. This just takes me back to when I was recording from my phone back when I was 17 years old and used to do Let's Plays with my brother on my older channel. And we played Donkey Kong Country. We never got far. I think we got a little under halfway. But I remember playing this level for the first time and just listening to it. Such a good song. Very calm, relaxing, and just, well, it's in the name. It's ambient. Finish up just a little bit. It's a 2026 mix. I didn't even know that. Interesting. We'll take a look at that later. Wow. So pretty much this song is made to be going into loop because if you were there for a while, it would just loop anyway. So wonderful song. Wonderful work from David Wise. I think we'll listen to one of my other favorites if I can find it. You know what? I think we'll do Forced Interlude, and then if we can find Sticker Bush Symphony. Yep, We're gonna do it. We're gonna just. Oh, Bramble Blast. Here we go. That'll work. We'll do that one. Just gonna listen to this one. Ended up getting to this game. Never beat the original first Donkey Kong or the other Donkey Kong games, but I did play them. Or Donkey Kong Country games. Never finished them. The only one that I remember finishing was Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii. That was the one I grew up with. A bit of a cow was going up there. And the one Donkey Kong Country game I have never played is Tropical Freeze. And I've heard it's excellent, and David Wise comes back to compose a lot of the music in there. We'll at least definitely take a look at some of this modern stuff, but I also want to get an interview in if we can find one. Matter of fact, we'll do the interview after this one. And then we'll go to his other pieces and then listen to some of his more modern stuff and then listen to a live performance if we get to that point. Oh, shout out to Nathaniel Pittman if he's watching this. We were just sitting here earlier today as I'm recording this, just listening to some of these songs. They were really good. We will listen to a live performance of Aquatic Ambience that I hope we get to. It's a very, very interesting rendition. It's a little bit more of a faster pace near the end of the song. It's interesting. It kind of changes it up a little bit. And on top of, we get to see David Wise just sit there and rock out on the saxophone, man. I would also have an extended version of this to listen to because this was really good. And mind you, this is like a lot more of the popular picks of David Wise, but man, there's plenty of other great stuff that's from these games. So I don't believe David Wise composed Donkey Kong Country 3. I can't remember if he did or not, but I believe he did at least do... Did he do Banjo-Kazooie? Because I'm curious. I'll have to find that out. I know he did that, what was it called? The Lizard and the Bat. It was like a, kind of like a successor franchise or game to Banjo-Kazooie. I forgot what it was called. If you guys in the comments remember, just let me know down in the comments below, because I can't remember the name of it for the life of me. Because I remember when it came out during Ukulele. Never mind, don't do that in the comments. I just remember Ukulele. Yeah, I believe he composed the music for that. We might listen to some Ukulele too if we do a part 2, because I don't really want to miss out on some of the stuff. We're going to try to be broad as much as possible. Matter of fact, we might just stick to the Donkey Kong Country videos, or music here. Oh, it's very good. Wonderful. Let's go find a David Wise interview.
Hi, I'm David Wise. I'm a video game composer. I've been keeping this secret for ages, but I can finally reveal I've been working away on Gimmick 2, featuring Yimatero. Now, Yimatero first appeared on the 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System, and that particular cartridge featured an enhanced sound chip with 3 extra channels and some extra waveforms. And as a composer at the beginning of my career, I remember being slightly jealous. But that doesn't matter now because I've been working on Gimmick 2 with Yumotero. It's been developed over in Sweden by the Bitwave team in association with Sunsoft in Japan, which means I've had the pleasure to use the sound set from both of these wonderful countries, including the hauntingly beautiful nickel harper, some lyrical flutes, acoustic guitar, accordion. I've used some shakuhachi textures, along with the shimmering sound of the koto, all backed up with some of the finest synthesizers I could find. So I very much hope that you get to listen to the soundtrack whilst enjoying the experience of playing Gimmick 2 featuring Yumotero.
Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Gimmick 2. He's working on newer stuff now. I'm very happy for him. Let's just go ahead and watch maybe 15 minutes of this and see where it goes.
David Wise, welcome to the Game Informer Show, sir.
Hello, thank you, and thank you for having me on as well.
Oh, it's an honor to have you. I think a lot of people just want to know, like, what is your life like these days? I see you have some instruments behind you there, but what is, like, the average day for David Wise like?
The average day is waking up in the morning, going for a cycle ride, coming into my studio, writing some tunes, doing a bit of editing, might do a few emails at some point, but yeah, normally catching up on soundtracks that need finishing.
Okay. Do you ever write music for fun?
Sort of. I certainly play music for fun. I'll go out and play in covers bands with my saxophone and stuff. So, yeah, there's definitely still a lot of fun still involved.
Those live shows, do old school Rare fans show up to those live shows and just scream at you to play Donkey Kong and stuff?
The last one in Norway was just crazy. About 250 people turned up at this microbrewery and went wild. We sold, the venue sold out of all the beer where the venue was. It was quite something, really. Yeah, they just went mad for it. It was good fun.
Do they heckle you? Do they make requests for certain songs from your past?
Yeah, they're always very respectful and very polite, but they'll normally heckle me before I start and see if I'm playing a certain number or if I'm doing such and such. There's quite a fast back catalogue, so often it's sorry, I'm not doing that one this evening, but I normally play for around an hour, and there's things like Aquatic Ambience and Sticker Bush in there.
Oh, that's so good. Are those like
That's neat.
top 2 most requested songs for you?
Yeah, that's right. And then I'll play some ukulele and some Snake Paths from Sumo Digital as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Do you have a total in your mind of how many songs you've written throughout your career?
It's probably not worth thinking about.
What do you mean? Not many people have that number. How many?
I'm sure it's in the thousands of tunes that I've written. I'm sure.
Yeah, Paul McCartney, who? I mean, you're dwarfing that guy.
Paul McCartney writes some very good songs, doesn't he? He's done quite well. In fact, I saw the film yesterday, a few days ago, and it's amazing. Really good. It just reminds you how good the Beatles songs were. Just amazing.
Yeah. Well, someday, the sequel to Yesterday, maybe the next project is going to be people forgetting all about Super Nintendo music, and then your music can be a big part of that as they're making new games.
We'll call it Tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, that's smart. That's a very smart take.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, you left Rare a long time ago, but you keep coming back, it seems like, to passion projects and kind of spiritual successors to the old Rare projects. What is that like? How is that communication channel established again and again?
I left Rare 10 years ago. Obviously, we've kept in touch with each other, so it's nice to catch up with the people who used to work there and do a few things together, which is quite nice. Obviously, when I left Rare, I went over and did some work with Retro Studios over in Texas. But that wasn't part or anything to do with Rare. That was directly with Nintendo.
Yeah. What was that like? Okay, so that was for Tropical Freeze then?
Yeah, that was for Tropical Freeze, yeah. And the other projects I've worked on, things like Ukulele and this Tamarind project, they were started again many years ago. It's taken quite a while to get Tamarind up and running, or at least across the finishing line. But, with that one, Omar, he managed to get a few of us together, and then after we pretty much finished that project, a guy called Gavin over at Platonic got in touch with us, and it was good to get some of the old old school, traditional, rare.
We might just go for
back
10
together
minutes,
to do some
this is
more work
really
together.
interesting.
Is that nice? Is it always refreshing? Is there any part of you where it's like, I thought I left this world behind, and these people keep dragging me back in?
It's very kind to be asked, isn't it? It's very reassuring. So I always like to go and do stuff with people that we've worked with together before. It's very nice. It's like going home.
Yeah. Okay, so this Tamarin project from Chameleon Games, do you want to just walk through your history of that project and what you're hoping to accomplish with the music here?
I think it was probably about 5 years ago when Omar had contacted me. He'd certainly contacted people like Steve Males and Kevin Bayliss and a few other people to see if they wanted to work on a rare style game on the PS4. So it sort of all started over here in Nottingham, which is where I am. We met up at a local restaurant, had a bit of a chat, decided what we're going to do. Omar showed me a few levels and some of the ideas that he had, and we all got to work.
Yeah.
And then I think at that point, really, probably a few years ago, we just let Omar get on with finishing it. I think he hoped it was going to be a lot sooner, but these things take time. And I think it was the back end of last year when he got in touch again and said, I've nearly finished this project, can you write a few more tunes? And so that's when I finished it off.
Nice. How are you feeling about the soundtrack overall?
I think overall it's quite nice. It sort of blends in. You wouldn't know that there was a gap of 3 or 4 years between the starting it and finishing it. Funnily enough, one of the recent tracks I did was called Fjords, and that was based on really a sort of Norwegian style. I think Omar actually comes from Norway, and I based it on visiting a place called Sandefjord, which is where I was a few weeks ago, and I've been there 2 years previously as well. And that's really where I took the inspiration from. So it was nice to go back a few weeks ago and see it all again. I think really overall the Fjords track is one of my favourite ones from the actual whole of that game.
Can you notice your evolution or even your interest musically shifting in that 3 to 4 year gap?
If I'm honest, not really. It's different. It's certainly progressed because whilst you're writing music, you're taking bits and inspiration from so many different places. You can't help but shift really in the style of music that you do. But yeah, there's definitely similarities, but I think it probably progressed as well.
Do you notice it's shifted a lot since early 90s? Has your sensibility completely changed, or do you listen to that old music and say, yeah, this just sounds good to me still?
I can hear the difference between the 90s and now, but I'm still quite pleased with the work that I did then. It's not vastly different. I think as long as you've got a decent tune, then it will transcend time and hopefully still be valid maybe 2 decades later if we're lucky.
Yeah. Do you ever go back and listen to any of your old music for fun, just to kind of refresh your memory a little bit?
I think there's always so much to do, then I don't really have time. If I need to go back and listen to something specific, then I'll go back and find it, and they're all on old CDs that I have over there. And I might have to, I suppose YouTube's probably the easiest resource. Just type in the tune name and hopefully somebody will have made a video of it. So that's normally where I reference my old material. But on the whole, I tend not to try and reference it, only if it's for a specific thing that somebody's asking for.
I mean, it makes sense.
Right. I mean, thinking about your productivity back in the day, it's just insane to look at the amount of games that you pumped out and wondering how you reflect on kind of that era of productivity from yourself and from Rare overall. Like, what's the lesson we can take from just how many games you all cranked out back in the day? Were you just working that hard and we should aspire to work that hard?
I think there's certainly more than one way of looking at this. Back in the day, we were fresh. It was all very new, and we were, I suppose, fumbling in the dark because we didn't know where we were going. We were trying to find where, the musical style. We were trying to find the game style and stuff. And also, the games weren't as big. We could put them out a lot quicker because they just weren't as fast as some of the games are now. And I think the quickest game I probably worked on probably took a week, and then something like Star Fox Adventures took about 5 years. So there was a vast difference between styles. I think these days they tend to take between about 6 months and 2 years, which is probably a more sensible timeline. But trying to put something out in a week means you really have to work on your instincts and try and throw something together that will hopefully be okay. I found that there's probably an optimum amount of time to spend on a soundtrack, and probably again, between 6 months and 2 years. It's nice depending on how complicated the game is. If you have too long, you spend too long on it and you overthink it.
Yeah. Did you have more time to work on Donkey Kong Country than other projects back in the day?
Back in the day, yeah, I've been knocking the NES projects out quite quickly. So, as I say, between a week and perhaps a month, and it was refreshing all of a sudden to have a decent sound chip that actually sounded like music, and then have a year to work on a soundtrack. But even back in the day, I was still typing it all in. It wasn't MIDI. I'd have a keyboard so I could bash some ideas out. But I was still doing a lot of coding, putting a lot of hex numbers in, and that's how it was all done. So we needed that year just to get the music in time.
Yeah. Okay. Can you dive in a little bit deeper just on the overall process for creating just one track for Donkey Kong Country?
This last one.
Like, so how does this work? Do you get concept art of the level, or where do you start from and how do you end?
The process is I would see the level, I would see it working, I'd be able to play it, I'd be able to get a feel for the rhythm that it needed to be, the speed. And then I'd go away, get my keyboard and bash a few ideas out, listen to a lot of music for ideas and inspiration, and try and create something that hopefully brings all of those disparate bits together and mesh it into something. And then I think on the original DKC Jungle theme, there's about 3 ideas that I had floating around, and I put all 3 of them together, which is why it sort of changes quite a lot throughout the piece. Once we've got that, we need to get the samples. So I'd go off and find the samples, and there's only 64K, so it means that your drum samples have to be as tiny and as small as possible to get them into the cartridge. So there was a lot of optimization going on, and then once we got that and I got the idea for the music, then I had 8 monophonic channels to work with, which means it just plays one note at a time. So there was a lot of assembling the bits together, very, very piecemeal, very laboriously to try and get it to work. But once you had got it working, you could hear it was going to work. That's kind of drives you on because you know what it's going to sound like towards the end. But it's quite an involved process, and it's a process I'm glad I don't have to do anymore.
So, I mean,
that's pretty good. Interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at Forest Interlude. Because that one's a great track too. We'll listen to this one. Oops. It almost reminds me of like the pan flute. The way that they set this up, just to kind of give it that foresty feel, haunted feel almost. But yet peaceful almost as well. Not just ambient, but just very wondrous almost. It's very interesting. I like that. And then the drums in the back kind of have this metallic sound to it. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, the trees go really well with this song too. They kind of have that freaky, alive look to them, like you would see in like a cartoon, Saturday morning cartoon that had dealt with like, that has like a haunted house episode or something. I like that. It just adds so much to the world building here. Because you want music to kind of help tell a story, of course, but man. Dixie was just outright broken in those games. You knew how to use it right. Go. Ooh. And before we start, if anybody knows who that is, that's Grant Kirkhope. That's some of the, I believe he was one of the sound tech guys and one of the other composers for other stuff. He's also a legend in this video game business. He makes a lot of great music too. Volume get turned off? Hold up. There we go. Saxophone playing was just fantastic. Drum beats fantastic. And the bass playing's really, really good. You can barely hear it, but it complements everything. That solo is really good. Probably guessing Grant is playing rhythm, maybe? Oh, I didn't realize he's wearing a Captain America shirt. That's interesting. And that's a Funky Con hat. That's pretty cool. That was really good. Oh, that's another thing we might need to take a look at another time, but as you can see, he's a very talented guy, and we are definitely doing a part 2. I want to listen to some more of his modern stuff and see where it evolved from and get an idea, and we'll watch a little bit more of that interview next time, of course, if I can remember which interview that was. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I know it's been a minute. I know I haven't been uploading as much, but this week, I'm not going to make any promises. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what could happen. Heck, I still want to do Detective Tuesdays tomorrow. I want to do that. I can at least promise that. And we'll see what happens Friday. April 3rd, which is crazy to even think about. Thank you guys for being patient with me. There's some more coming, I promise. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more videos, and also to make sure to ring the bell. Thank you guys again. This is the Captain signing off. I bid you adieu. I'm out. Peace.